What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here, and we're back in Fortnite, and I thought, what better chance, what better opportunity there is to show you guys my base that I have for Stonewood. I am currently prepping for Stonewood Shield Defense 7, but I still have kind of a ways to go when it comes to getting up to level 10, the Shield Defense 10. So this is obviously going to grow in scale as a base, but this is currently probably the best well-rounded base that I've come up with so far. You'll see locations that still need upgrades, such as like the top of this tower, or all of that becoming a stronger material, but that's all coming with time. Man, the amount of time I poured into this base already, and the amount of time I'd have to go out and get everything I need to level everything up would just be insane. So I'm going to show you how it is as it stands. Basically everything is built, it just needs to be upgraded to its maximum potential. But yeah, and there are going to be key points in this base that allow for you to travel very far, such as a point like this. Now, if you wanted, if you had maybe a sniper or something up here, maybe taking a looking around, doing some stuff, you would have the opportunity to take this pad in any 3 directions. There's no real reason to go that way, so you could go out that way towards the eastern spawn, out that way towards the southern spawn, and out that way towards the western spawn. Now, we're probably going to go that way, but just as an example, what I have set up is this should get me all the way to the pyramid, which is inside of this building. If you are a ninja and you have the ability to double jump, you can, I don't know if they're going to take this out of the game, but you can actually hit this pad and then double jump again, and it sends you insanely far. If you double jump off this, you can end up way out there. Which you guys will see in just a few moments. That pad will take you basically to the same spot if you are in the middle of the base. Then we have, I believe, a pad down... Yep, you can just barely see it down there. That's going to take you right where you need to be for that defense. I don't really have anything set up. Actually, I have a pad on that tower which sends you over there, and it sends you from here to like there as well, so you can get access to any one of these towers. But currently we're going to start on the outside and work our way in. We're going to go around and work our way in, so you can see kind of my outer defenses at the moment. So right now, the way I have it set up is there's a little door here so you can get up on this upper area, but we'll check that out in just a moment. So what I have out here is, obviously these walls are built up a little bit more than the interior walls because, they're going to take the damage. But I have basically a bridge set up with a bunch of traps in all of these choke points. So enemies that will be spawning down here or wherever. I actually noticed that some of the spawn points ended up like right here, and they blew up my floors. So I think I'm gonna have to start putting in some spawn control, those little orb things that push spawns out. I'm not exactly sure how they work. I don't know if they just stop an enemy from spawning or if they push the spawns outside of that boundary. I'm not sure, but basically I'm gonna need them to be spawning further away, and I think that's going to happen in the later defenses. The early defenses are spawning closer to the pyramid because they're not expecting you to have that much built yet. And I think from now on, I think that's what these big open areas are for those spawns. So we'll see. Now that we push the shield pretty far out, I think they're going to be out here. But the idea is to, number one, have them hit as many traps as possible. Obviously, I could push out farther, but I don't want all my traps being destroyed by the spawns. But to have all the enemies at their choke points get hit by traps. There are going to be floor traps, I just don't have the materials yet. But there's, gas, electric traps coming through here, going to get hit by all this. And then easily going to be defended by anyone, trying to defend the base. There's going to be... we'll go up on the bridge because it's the best way to see it. But that's kind of the way this looks all the way down. Obviously, with the cliffs, it's going to funnel enemies into left or right. So we basically funnel them towards the traps. So, but we're going to go up here just so we can check out the bridge. Because this is where pretty much a majority of the heroes are going to be fighting from. Oh, they broke my my staircase in that last defense. But anyways, you have the opportunity to be up here. I'll probably put a healing pad or maybe one of those orbs up here to control spawns, so you can be able to help control this area. I was debating on whether I should expand up onto these locations, but I think this is more than efficient enough. Maybe I would expand this way, and then that would be it. But currently there's that. There's a way up here from back there, just so that you don't have to go absurd ways to get up here. So we're going to come this way. We're going to have an upper deck area, which is going to be really important for us, because this is going to be another good point for all of our gunners. There is a direction back here just so we can attach to this back area. So let's say the enemies push into our traps and we can't get shots on them. Basically, we would retreat back and secure the secondary location up in these towers and stuff to, you know, continue attacking the spawn. But you have all this area to attack all the spawns and all the enemies coming through, which is pretty fantastic. I absolutely love it. I want to find a way to expand maybe up onto this cliffside, but I don't know if it's really all that necessary, because we do have this one here, which is going to give us, you know, with all of that there, I think we're good. And with this here, we're going to be able to control it on this side. I accidentally put that wall in, so I just shortened it up. But anyways, this is, you know, another control point. You're obviously over on this side. We'll go up here real quick, just so you can see. I have a tower up here with a nice little heal pad. I have the opportunity to look out over here in case we, you know, see the storm change locations, which I guess is a thing now that we've gotten further into the game. So we can kind of see, you know, different areas. There's no reason to stay in this tower. It's just kind of a, like an outpost, I guess. So there's that. Soon I'm going to put in more jump pads so we can access some of these locations a little bit easier. You'll see, for example, I have one here. So in case maybe we're fighting off the south, and then it says, alright, they're moving to the east, we can very quickly just run up over here and basically be ready to go. So, pretty cool. I love that. I love that little jump pad. I might take out part of that fence so that we can put... Well, actually, you're going to be walking this area, so maybe not. But this staircase is probably fine enough, because we're going to be focusing on this side anyway. So maybe I put a jump pad. I don't know. Maybe I put a jump pad here so that people coming up can hit the jump pad and land where I'm standing. That might be a good idea, but anyways, like I said, I might expand up there. I'm not too sure yet. So yeah, this is the outer area. We'll get into the inner side after we do kind of the outer wall, but this is kind of the same idea. It's just protecting this whole side. I might expand up there when the shield gets larger, but I don't know. This might be good enough, because we'll be able to defend, you know, for the most part, all this area. And we'll end up fencing this off, but there's an amplifier, so eventually we're going to have to work our way that way. But so we're, you know, it's a good middle ground. You can either defend from there if enemies are coming from the east, or you can defend from here for enemies coming from the south. Obviously around this amplifier when it becomes a thing. But I'm going to mention that I am getting close to maximum capacity when it comes to how many like structures I can put down. So eventually I'll point out maybe some key areas where I'll be removing some structures if I need it. There are locations for aesthetic reasons. I make extra structures, such as, we'll see over there, I put in like partial walls just to make the outside like balconies look supported, even though they really don't have a purpose. So I might remove stuff like that in the future. But currently, for aesthetic reasons, I like placing in you know, structural supports and stuff. You know, like over here, those aren't really necessary because that bridge will stay up. But anyways, that's that. I kept the tower just because I thought it was really cool, and it's a free structure to have and be able to, you know, to shoot out of. So that's a thing. There's, you know, the stronger supports around that because there's a good chance that someone will be fighting from up here, you know, shooting down on enemies on traps, will be fighting from up there. So this is all going to have to get upgraded. But got a heal point and stuff. We got a heal point somewhere over there. Yeah, we got one there, one there. I think I have... Oh, no, it's a defender pad up on the tower. Defenders really... I don't know. I wish they were more useful, but they're not really all that useful at the moment. But maybe they'll fix that. Oh, I don't know how this got damaged. Oh, this all got damaged because there was a... one of those guys with the propane tanks, he blew up in here. So he blew up all my floor tiles, but I'll replace those eventually. I may not replace all of them just because... well... I don't know. I'm going to have to put traps down, so we'll see where the best traps are utilized. Basically, I ran the Storm Defense level 6, so I can understand how enemies are going to be attacking. For instance, enemies that were spawning over here, they tend to walk up, and for some reason, instead of, like, attacking a structure, maybe if there was a hero up there, they might decide to go this way, but a lot of the propane guys would just do this and then just come this way. Or they would, if there was a hero standing here, they would throw their propane tank from here, and it would damage our stuff, so we'll see. Maybe I have to put in, I don't think these traps were here, so maybe now that these traps were here, it'll actually save us from stuff like that, but, anyways, I have to implement a lot of traps still, but currently, this is, you know, imagine all this wood being here, because that's where it's supposed to be. But this is over towards this amplifier. Currently, this is our outer defense area. Like I said, we're going to have to work towards these amplifiers in the future. But if the enemies come up here at the moment, they're going to get hit with some dart traps, some electric traps, and then they're going to have to walk under yet another bridge, which is going to have all sorts of traps to take care of them. Dart traps on the far side. This is all protecting our amplifier, so that's all of that. Kind of the same idea on this side. Gas traps, you know, spike traps and stuff. I'm gonna have to put a spike trap here. Spike traps down here. The one issue I am finding, and I haven't had enemies come through here yet from the last defense, because they mostly spawned and came up this ramp. But enemies, I noticed that you can't just walk up this final tile with this floor here. Same with this side. So I'm curious, which is why I haven't put a trap in here yet, is are the enemies going to jump up here, or are they going to break this floor and then climb up it? If they're going to break the floor, there's no reason to have traps there, so yeah, we'll see. I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep this like this, accessible, or if I'm going to block this off, but I did put a trap in here in case the enemies do come around, just because this looks, in my opinion, this looks terrible. The fact that I wish they had a triangular piece that was this way that you could put here. Unfortunately, because of the ramp, you can't do anything about it. And I can't edit it. See, like if I were to do that, I know there's a piece, but it won't let me do it. So, unfortunately, that's the case. So, we'll see if this sits here, if this gets blocked off. I may just put stairs in here. Well, actually, probably not, because then the enemies have no reason to go through my trap. So, I'll probably block this off. But, from this side, which, once again, has another amplifier, so this will eventually be subject to change. But the enemies will come up here. This is their only access point to this amplifier, so they're going to take traps galore. I'm going to trap this up. I just am out of traps at the moment, so this is going to have to be, you know, loaded up with defense. I did kind of plan on... Actually, this may not work now that I think about it, because enemies, I think, can climb this ramp and then cut this corner. So I was going to put a staircase down and have just a, you know, another, you know, location, but that might provide a weakness to our structure, so we may not do that. So we'll probably force them to come all the way up this direction, and then once again we're gonna load this up with traps, probably some ceiling traps, and then whether they decide to cut this way and attack the amplifier, they'll take damage, or if we have heroes up here and they come this way and try to attack this structure, they're gonna take a whole bunch of trap damage. So that's that side, basically the south for the most part, taken care of. Here's this little ramp and stuff that the enemies can climb. I don't think they can get here, so I kind of curved it through here so enemies, you know, I don't think they're ever going to come this direction, but even if our heroes have to run from this defense to that defense, they can just come this way. But there's also another way, which I will show you in just a second, which is right over here. So our enemies or ourselves from our defense can jump down through here. We got our defense points, our traps, our little protection for our staircase and whatnot through here. There's going to be probably some floor traps in that whole area, but this is the back side of this this base. We'll jump up here real quick, where the amplifier is. I need to put like electric traps and stuff in here. I have 1, 2 at the moment for anyone that comes through or breaks through these walls or whatever. But then there's this upper area. You can see that I always have some sort of bridge connecting some of these areas. I'm probably gonna bridge over here. There's another launch pad, by the way, to get up there, because this comes down off this tower and then you can launch back up. But I'm probably gonna bridge over somewhere, maybe off the top over to there. But here's this little area. It's gonna provide all sorts of different angles in case the enemies flood through here. I'm still trying to figure out how the enemies act and when they choose to fight amplifiers, when they choose to go left instead of right and stuff like that. I know that defensive values matter, such as if this, where this electric trap is and this electric trap is, if this wall is stronger than that wall, they'll obviously go for the easier wall to break through. But sometimes it's like, it'll be the same, where this is the same, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same, and for some reason, all the enemies will go this way. And, well, you know, if it was just 2 here, 2 here, they'll go this way instead of that way. And I don't know if it's just the shortest path to the amplifier, or if because a hero is standing here, or a hero is standing here, it changes the way they're gonna, you know, the direction they're gonna go. I'm not too sure, but you can see there. I put these partial walls around these amplifiers, even though I know that's not technically defensive, and I should have that wall all the way up there. I do like the aesthetic reasons of being able to see these amplifiers, and in my little imagination, like, what if they had to repair these or something? Then you'd have to have some sort of access to the dish, right? So, just aesthetically, I did that. I don't have a way of getting up on the roof at the moment, and I don't think I plan on doing it. I might, I'm not too sure. But currently, it's just not an option. Maybe I put a staircase here, and it just goes like this, and then up. But no real reason to do so. Probably a waste of resources. But anyways, there's that. We're gonna go back through here, which is the way we came in. And I can jump up on this tower and show you guys. Here's another bridge over to part of our defense, but we'll get into that inner area here in just a moment. But, yeah, another good defense point. Just lots of defensive points, lots of opportunities to shoot down at enemies from a lot of these areas. I mean, even over here or standing over here, you get this spawn well taken care of, you know, or maybe they end up spawning over here, because they end up spawning in all sorts of different areas as the defenses get harder and harder, so we'll see. But we have a window facing out this way to attack anyone that's trying to get through this outside wall, which I will show you in just a moment. We go through here, we got lots of traps protecting us from enemies coming through this direction. And then here is the inside of the wall, which we will get to in just a moment, but focusing on the outside of the wall is kind of similar to what we've been doing recently, is putting an overhang with defense points and lots of traps in our tunnels. So obviously reasons to protect these walls, even though technically there's just solid like rock behind here, there's no reason for them to attack this. They still sometimes do. Well, I think maybe the baseball guys that throw the bones, they might be damaging these walls, but anyways. So we have this outside wall with these 2 choke points with lots of traps, which is very cool. This is going to be the inner area. I'll get to that just 1 second, but just showing you this outside wall, kind of the same idea. Maybe I should put one of those overhangs on the outside. That actually makes sense because there's just more opportunities to shoot at the enemy. But
lazy right now.
But anyways, here's our shot or our defense points, you know, and you'll see up here the defense points are pretty insane. So might have to take down that tree. Might be a good idea so we can see a little bit better. But these are kind of some opportunities to shoot down on enemies. We'll go up here real quick and then we'll come down. But this is our, other than I guess, well, yeah, it might be our, even with that one, but other than the tree house or the outpost, this is like our highest point on the map, so you can see a ton of stuff. Now, your weapons aren't very strong up here, but this is where we might have like a scout or someone just being like, all right, so they're, you know, if it says defense coming from the west, someone might be able to run from, you know, maybe in the center up here and tell allies to either focus on this wall or focus on this tower, because they can say west and it could be spawns here and it could be spawns here. So, but this is a good place to see most of the map. So is up there, but that's away from all the spawns. That's just kind of aesthetically pleasing, which is why I put all that up there. But I may or may not keep a lot of that red brick up there, just because number one, we're going to need more structures, and number two, these don't really serve a defensive purpose. It's just an aesthetic thing. So I don't know, they may go. But anyways, we're going to jump down here. We're going to get to this middle section. Let's jump down right on top of our tower. So from the outside wall, we can get to this central defense around the amplifier, which has all sorts of, you know, locations to shoot at enemies from depending on how they're attacking us. But the main idea is to be up here and provide support if the enemies start getting through our traps. So there's all this, pretty cool. Another kind of aesthetically pleasing thing where, you know, I decided to go up higher just so we can see the beams of light, but currently, you know, it's encapsulated. I considered maybe putting a window in, just as though, like I was saying, if we had to get in there and aesthetically like fix the dish or something like that, it would make sense that there would be a hole in the side of the structure, you know what I mean? But anyways, I haven't done that just for defensive purposes. We'll just leave it as is. But yeah, you can see all the traps and opportunities we have to kill enemies as they come through here, which is probably our most currently trapped location, like defensive point. Actually, now that I've done that last defense, those other two areas of the map do have a lot of defenses, but this one for the most part is just loaded up. Very, very well loaded up is this amplifier, because this is the first amplifier I ever did. So almost every defense since Defense 2, enemies would attack this thing. So I've been slowly building it since then. But there's all that. Here's another jump pad. This is generally geared towards enemies coming from the middle and wanting to get up there. It's kind of a close call depending on the angle you take. If you cut this corner and aim more this way, you get it very easily. But as you can see, I just barely made it if I came like at this angle. But anyways, this is kind of what I was talking about. If we had someone that needed to come up here and scout, very, very quick and easy to do so. But at the same time, we do have this outer wall. Actually, I'll show you by another direction, just so that.
Tired.
Okay, I can show you that if you were up here, you still have the opportunity to get to that platform right here. So that area I was just, this balcony that I was just on, is still accessible by up there. So I wanted to put a jump pad here, but you can't put a jump pad on partial floor tiles. so I might make this a full tile so I get a jump pad up there, but we'll see. But yeah, so then there's this lower area, which is defensive. These are the support things that I was telling you about, which may get removed so that I can build more structures when I run out. Yeah, so this is kind of a defense point, sort of. Before this amplifier was here, this was actually a great tower to kill enemies out of. But now that this amplifier's here, it's kind of blocking the view. But let's say for some reason the enemies choose to avoid the amplifier, or however the enemies choose to act, and they come down this direction, past these traps and stuff. We have shots on them from, you can get shots on them from over here, down that tunnel, and then we can get shots from this direction very easily as well. But anyways, this is back to that one metal tower that I was showing you earlier, and we will run back through here, and we will get on to the very middle of our base. So, bloop. That doesn't really help. I mean, we might be able to sprint from here and get over on this balcony. I mean, it does work, but I don't know. Defense pad, which doesn't really help us any. This was defense 1 we had to, or maybe it was defense 2 when we had to put a defender here, or a defender on the base. That's the first defender pad, which doesn't help us any anymore. But here's the middle area, which may get deconstructed, and the reason why I say that is because the farther we push the bubble outwards, the less enemies that spawn close to our pyramid, which there's no reason for this to have all these defenses if this thing never gets attacked, you know what I mean? So, here's another, just for aesthetic reasons, kind of keeping it cool and accessible. But, yeah, so I don't know if there's any reason for this structure to really be here anymore. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe defense 10, you're going to get wicked spawns and enemies are going to be, you know, all over this base, but we'll see. But anyways, here's this central area. Have the opportunity for a healing pad. So, I don't know. Doesn't really serve a purpose all that much anymore, but it's aesthetic. I kept it in. Let's see. There's the jungle area. I don't think I checked on this middle area, so we'll get to that in just a moment. I have a jump pad to get up there, which is pretty nice. I love the fact that it goes up too high. Let me, just so I don't forget, pop, repair that. But that's the first ever, like, exterior building, other than this building, that I've ever built. So there's one. This is the second one. This one's kind of cool. I built it into the brick side. As you can see, that like each area of mine is built into with like a theme in mind. So this outside wall is like a jungle theme. I made or like a jungle wood theme, because this tower was there, and I figured I'd load it up with wood around it, and then eventually, the wood just ended up making its way all the way over here because of that outside wall. But this back side and that side is mostly brick, and then the middle defense is mostly metal, and then that outside wall all the way over there is metal as well. So this is metal just because it's the material I had for my first tower build. But anyways, we got another defense pad up here, which doesn't really make a difference, but like I was saying, this tower is a really good defense point, whether you're up there or down here. Good defense point for the wood side. Fairly cool. This back area, I'll kind of show you. This is where we started the episode, was way up here. But you can't build past this point. So I'm assuming that we will never have enemies spawn back here. And I kept all these in for like aesthetic reasons, just because. But I don't think there's any reason to load up on defenses out here, from what I can tell. I'll jump up here so I have access to this pad again. But I don't think there's any reason for a lot of this brick to be here, so that's why I was saying I might remove a lot of it, in case we need it. But, yeah, we'll jump off over this direction, and then down here. So, there's the front of our base, kinda, you've seen that. There's this cool brick area. There's a tunnel of a little bit of traps and stuff. This whole section is layered up with traps. This is the first, on Defense 1, the enemies that came from this way. All these traps are still here from then. So that is what it is. Currently, there's a jump pad that'll get up to the top, but we'll take this direction just because traps. I don't really think these serve a purpose because enemies are going to be focusing on, you know, coming through and maybe attacking this lower wall or going towards the pyramid. But anyways, maybe I should put a window in here? That'd probably be good. Oh, no, that's just that. Okay, never mind. Doesn't... Oops. Nope. That doesn't help. No. There we go. So, no reason for a window to be there, I guess. But anyways, you come up here, you have access to the Outpost, which is pretty awesome. I got the healing pad, and like I said, this is a good defensive area for shooting down on enemies coming through the trap location. This defends... This is like the secondary wall of defense in case enemies get through past all these traps and they're starting to come through here. This is a good place to fall back to. I need to make a better way to get up here, other than like that jump pad. Like enemies could, or guys could come back through here and jump on that jump pad and get up here, but I need to find a better way to get up here. This is a decent way, coming down to here to the tower and coming up that way, but I feel like it's still a little slow, so maybe I put a jump pad in this area to get up here, so we'll see. But then we have the tower, which we can just run up in. This was here from the very beginning of the defense. I never constructed this. This was permanent. Well, it's not permanent because I can destroy it, but I don't want to. But this is an option, which maybe for snipers it might be a good idea, but for you know, any other purposes, it's kind of just like a scouting tower, kind of like that one is. But there's that, and then we get down here, take some damage. We have this jungly type defense point with a defender pad on top, which doesn't really do us any good, and a good way to defend all this area. I was also considering putting a bridge over to there, but yeah, I think I will. I think at some point I will. But currently, this is as it stands. But another, like I said, aesthetic for that. But pretty cool. This is another example of these don't necessarily need to be there, but it kind of looks nice having like these supports and whatnot. If you look up here, it kind of looks a little bit fancy. You could even, if you could argue that if enemies were in here, you could jump up here and shoot them, but I don't know. Now that we've got these amplifiers in, I don't know if anyone will be using this path. They'll probably just be always gunning for the nearest amplifier. I'm not too sure, but that's that. Like I said, a lot of these walls need to get upgraded, especially this base. This base is probably going to take a brunt of the damage, unless this amplifier gets put down, and then this is our next outside, you know, like furthest away, I don't know, our outside wall, let's say. Then we might need to focus on the defenses out there instead of the defenses up here. So, but that's that. That's pretty much the entire base. I don't think I was ever up there, but for the most part, you know, like I was showing you, this is the support kind of idea. That looks a little bit wonky. That may come out. I don't know. But those supports, like I was saying, may come out. I don't know. A lot of aesthetic type stuff. Those walls might come out. I don't know. A lot of stuff meant to look supported and fancy. Here, for example, is that path. But at the same time, also a lot of thought put into proper, like, high defensive, you know, areas that we can shoot down on enemies, but they can't shoot at us, kind of areas. Obviously, it's very important to load up on certain, you know, towers, because those ladies that throw the bombs at you, they will destroy a lot of stuff if you sit there and try and snipe them out. If they can get to you, they'll destroy a lot of your tower locations. So anywhere you're going to have a hero standing and shooting at enemies, you're going to want to defend up or repair or upgrade all the nearby structures, because if I'm standing here and she throws a couple bombs and I blow out this floor tile, I'm gonna fall down to this lower floor. And if that happens, unless you have multiple paths to the same tower, you may not be able to get to your defense point. So, like I was saying, if I had stairs here or something and they destroyed this, I would not be able to get up here unless I have another path around the backside, which I do. But anyways, that's that. Like I was saying, there may be locations where I put jump pads. I may put a jump pad here so I can bounce up there. A few of those locations will become in place, but for the most part, that is my massive base. I only have like 700 possible structures that I can put down. So as we get to like these last 3 amplifiers, like I said, some of these, like some of those bricks might come out. Some of the stuff, well, I'd start with the bricks up there, and I'd probably start with these supports over here before I start pulling out, you know, these structures, because these structures look cool and they serve a good purpose. So that's that for the most part. This is another jump pad, kind of like I was talking about. I could jump over to there. I could I can't jump over there, but I can jump basically right to here, ready to defend. I have these in quite a few key locations on my base, and it's really, really awesome. But that is my Stonewood defense at the moment. I recently unlocked the Plankerton defense, and I am building that up. So that'll be my next huge base build. I'm going to experiment more over there than I did here. This was kind of like focusing on really good choke points and high defense points. That one I'm going to experiment with, like, I already have a video going out in shortly of the best wall you can physically build in-game based on hit points, damage points, that you can build in the game. And you can use 3 to 4 walls in one tile, in one single tile, that has anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 hit points, I believe, of defensive value. And that's each tile. So if you built a wall out of these tile, or these 3 to 4 different items, you will have incredible defensive outside walls. And that's coming very, very soon. So look forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was lengthy, but this base is massive, and I wanted to show you all the key points of this base and how awesome it is. You can see a lot of these empty panels are just either going to be removed or loaded up with traps, depending on how the enemies act. But for the most part, that is that. Let me know. I'm curious about a couple things. Number one, if you like the video, a thumbs up would be awesome. It's going to help, you know, the Fortnite as a whole grow on this channel. Maybe you'll get some more people to see it, and maybe we can have some conversations about it. I do have a Discord that focuses mostly on Warframe, which is the game I play, but I do have a Fortnite tab, so check that out. It's in the description. I'm curious, number one, is any ways I can improve on this base. First off, and obviously I could put metal everywhere, best hit points, whatever, but like I said, aesthetically, I wanted to have these different locations. In the future, I'll probably build more on the idea of what is the best physical thing I could do for this possible thing. And I'll probably focus on metal a little bit more in the future. But currently, this is just, you know, aesthetic. And then, what is your, because of that aesthetic, what do you really like about this base? Such as, do you prefer this wood section? Honestly, in my opinion, my favorite part of this entire base, other than I really like the level 3 brick texture and stuff like that. I think that's gonna be cool. I think we could build like an epic castle or something like that. But other than that texture, I really like the outside jungle like walkway and path. I hate the planks. I hate the planks. I like the crappy this more than I like the planks. Or these planks, or these plywood. I like that look better than I like this look. But obviously I understand why this is stronger. But I like that look. I like the treehouse look. And I like that outside wall. But I am curious, what do you like the most about this base? Do you like the fact that these jump pads can get me anywhere I need to be? Do you like the metal area? I don't know how much I feel about the metal design, other than when it's fully leveled up, which actually we'll do right here. Other than when it's fully leveled up, I don't really like the metal texture, but it's meant to look terrible because it's rusty, junky metal. But do you like this castle design? Should I do more of this? Should I do more of the metal structures? Should I do more of the wood? See, let's get it all the way up to its max. Or should I keep doing these 3 different locations? Currently in Plankerton, I'm still doing 3 different designs. I'm doing a wood, a brick, and a metal location. However, I'm keeping them much more separate. This one you can see where the brick kind of gets in the middle of the wood and in the middle of the metal. And then same with over there, the brick, the metal. And then over here, kind of the same thing, the brick, the wood, the metal. So I'm separating them out more in Plankerton. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that's going to be a better aesthetic? Do you like the metal texture? I do like this texture. I would love to build like a really badass base out of just this, but we'll see. That'll probably come in either like Canny Valley or the farthest, the really difficult missions. I'll probably focus more on metal, but what do you like? Do you like these jump pads? Do you like these directional pads? Do you like the wood, the brick? Do you like the metal? I'm very curious. What do you really enjoy about this base, and what do you not? And I just before I forget, I think I already mentioned it, but keep in mind that a ninja can, with her double jump ability, can use these jump pads and go way farther than any other unit. From, like I said, from up there, from up on that tower, if I hit that jump pad, I can land all the way by these lights in this little section. So that's insane. So I don't know if they're going to remove that, like I said, but I may focus on like jump pads for ninjas in the future. Do you think that's a good idea? I'm so curious. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Any tips, any feedback, anything I would appreciate, because that'll help me build a better base. Stay tuned for that wall, that high hit point wall, external wall build that I'm going to do, because that is going to be incredibly beneficial for any base that needs an external wall to defend your base. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you learned something, or if you have some inspiration, let me know. And until next time, now.